maths is not fun? Well, I, Makwana Namraka, is here to show you that maths is just a fun challenge. It is as easy as y equals to mx plus c. And for those of you who didn't know, it is as easy as a straight line. So right now, it is the time for you to grab a paper, a pen, and a calculator and come learn maths with me.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Learn Maths with me on a hashtag Maths Tuesday. In today's episode of Learn Maths with me, we are discussing quadrilaterals. So in today's video, we'll be basically touching on 3 different kinds of quadrilaterals, and then the next week we're going to do the last 3 kinds of quadrilaterals. So a quadrilateral basically is defined as a shape that has 4 sides, and then the interior angles of that shape with 4 sides add up to 360 degrees. Remember that the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So of a quadrilateral which has 4 interior angles, they add up to 360 degrees. So in today's episode, we'll basically be discussing these 3 types of quadrilaterals. So sometimes they can give you a question and say that prove that this kind of shape we have given you is a parallelogram, or it is a rectangle, or it is a trapezium. So in today's episode, I'll just be giving you the properties of these different kinds of quadrilaterals, and the properties that will help you how to prove that a shape is a parallelogram. Like for example, I'll be giving you the properties of a parallelogram, and then when you're faced with a question like prove that this shape is a parallelogram, then you can prove using the properties of a parallelogram. So yeah, without wasting any time, let's get into discussing them. So the first quadrilateral we're going to look into is a parallelogram. So the properties of a parallelogram are basically that opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. So when they mean opposite sides, they mean the opposite sides. So it means that this side is the same as this one I marked with. So basically they are parallel to each other, and also they are equal to each other. Same applies to this second pair of opposite sides. And then the next property about parallelogram is opposite angles are equal. So which are the opposite angles? This angle and this angle are equal. This angle and this angle are equal. So last but not least, property is that diagonals bisect each other. So firstly, let's define the term bisect. So bisect basically means cut into half. So basically they're saying that the diagonals are these lines inside which run from corner to corner. So these diagonals, they basically cut in each other into half. So if this diagonal is 10 centimeter, then it means when it is cut into half, another part will be 5 centimeter, and then another part will be 5 centimeter. So yeah, those are the 3 properties of a parallelogram. So when they say prove that this shape is a parallelogram, you can prove by talking about the opposite angles, or you can prove by talking about the opposite sides being equal, or even the diagonals bisecting each other, right? So let's move on to the second quadrilateral, which is a rectangle. So uh, firstly, let me just mention the properties of a rectangle are similar, or basically the same as the properties of a parallelogram. The only difference is that a rectangle inside has 4 right angles. It has 90 degrees angles, right? So let's just read the properties, and then you'll just be able to pick up the other differences of a parallelogram and a rectangle. So the first property is that opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. As you can see, I marked the the sides that are equal with the same markings, 3 lines, 3 lines, 2 lines, 2 lines. I hope you can see that. And then I also showed which line is parallel to which line. I really hope that you can understand my drawings. They're not necessarily drawn up to scale, but I just wanted to make sure that you are able to visualize what we're actually talking about. So the second point, it says corner angles equal 90 degrees. When they say corner angle equal 90 degrees, they mean that we have right angles. 90 degrees just basically means right angle. So it means that a rectangle, you can see it by it having 90 degrees angles. So then the last but not least point says diagonals are equal and bisect each other. It means that the two diagonals inside the rectangle are equal and they also cut each other into half, meaning that if here is 5 centimeter, here will also be 5 centimeter, here will also be 5 centimeter. Same applies to the last piece of the diagonal. Why? Because all these diagonals are equal. So if this diagonal is 10 centimeter, the other diagonal will be 10 centimeter. And if it is cut into half, it means that the half will be 5, 5, 5, 5. I really hope that you understand that. So the difference between the diagonals of the parallelogram and rectangle is that of the rectangle they are equal and of the parallelogram they are not equal. The last but not least type of quadrilateral we're going to look into today is trapezium. So a trapezium is not really complicated. It doesn't really have a lot of properties. So the one property that we have is that one pair of opposite sides are parallel. So I've marked the pair of opposite sides that are parallel to each other. We cannot say this second pair is parallel to each other because, as you can see, if we extend these two lines, they will cross each other, and parallel lines never meet or cross each other. So yeah, so that is basically it for today's video. We have discussed 3 types of quadrilaterals. In the next video, we'll also be discussing 3 types of quadrilaterals. I really hope that you found this video helpful. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. Until the next one, you guys, bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and tell me in the comment sections which topic you'd like me to cover. And remember, I do not promise to know everything, but I do promise to share and help where I can.